Chosen one, if you're watching this, don't scroll away. This is no accident. God has brought you here because a powerful, unstoppable shift is already underway in your life. The future you've been waiting for, it's not just coming, it's happening right now. This is urgent. What's about to unfold will shock you. It will challenge everything you thought you knew about your life and your destiny. You're no longer in the phase of hoping or wishing. You're moving into a new reality, one where what you prayed for, dreamed of, and believed in is manifesting at a speed you never imagined possible. But here's the truth. This powerful change will only fully land if you're ready to receive it. Are you? Before we dive into this explosive revelation, stop everything and do these 3 things right now. Hit that like button, send this message out into the universe, subscribe and help us reach 1,000 subscribers. Drop the number 99 in the comments, a code that amplifies the power of this moment. If you're truly a chosen one, your spirit won't let you leave this video early. Your future depends on what you do next. The shift is unstoppable. The rise is inevitable. Now get ready, because your life is about to change forever. There's a reason you felt different. There's a reason your journey hasn't looked like everyone else's. You weren't forgotten. You were chosen. Even in the silence, even in the struggle, your life has been under divine preparation. You didn't stumble into this moment by chance. This moment has always had your name on it. Every delay, every disappointment, and every door that didn't open was part of a bigger plan leading you to your divine appointment. Chosen ones are not ordinary. You have been handpicked by God to carry light in dark places, to rise where others fall, and to lead when others follow. You've carried burdens in silence, fought battles no one knew about, and still kept going. That's not weakness, that's the mark of someone destined for greatness. God never calls the qualified, He qualifies the called. And you, dear soul, are about to walk into a season that proves you were chosen for a reason. This isn't about ego or ambition. It's about divine alignment. You've been assigned a role that no one else can fill. You've been prepared in private to be revealed in public. And now the time has come. You've walked through fire, and you're about to rise from the ashes, glowing with the favor of God. The world is about to see what heaven already knows. You were chosen for such a time as this. When God ordains a breakthrough, no force on earth can stop it. Not fear, not failure, not the opinions of others. What's coming to your life is not a possibility, it's a promise. A divine promise, sealed by the Creator Himself. You're stepping into a future that's been building behind the scenes. And now it's coming with a force that no one can block or delay. Think about rivers when they're dammed, pressure built. But when that dam breaks, the flood comes fast and unstoppable. That's exactly where you are. Every no, every closed door, every moment you felt stuck, it was all just pressure building behind the scenes. But now the dam is breaking. Your elevation, your healing, your breakthrough, it's rushing in, and it won't be subtle. It'll be so big, so undeniable, people will be left speechless. This isn't hype, this is heaven's decree. When God speaks, creation responds. And right now, heaven is declaring, it's time. Your life is about to become evidence of what happens when God steps in. No obstacle can stop what God has set in motion. Get ready, because what's coming can't be blocked, delayed, or denied. You're not just going to feel different, you're going to look different. The weight of stress, the marks of struggle, the weariness in your eyes, they're about to be replaced with radiance, confidence, and strength. God is renewing you from the inside out. Just as the caterpillar becomes the butterfly, your transformation will be so powerful that people will do double takes when they see you. Your glow-up won't be from cosmetics or clothes. It will come from the Spirit. God is restoring your energy, your joy, your health. Your posture will change. Your voice will carry more authority, and your presence will command respect. This isn't just external, it's internal. You'll walk differently because now you know who walks with you. And your status? That's shifting too. You're about to go from overlooked to overbooked, from borrowed to owning, From asking for help to being the one who gives it, people who once ignored you will seek your guidance. The transformation will be so drastic, many will ask, "What happened to you?" And your answer will be simple: God happened. You've been through storms that no one saw, nights of silent tears, days where hope felt like a distant memory. But through it all, you held on, maybe not perfectly, but faithfully. God sees that. He saw every moment you chose faith over fear, every time you whispered prayers while your heart was breaking. And now, the test is turning into triumph. God never tests without a reason, and He never tests without a reward. You were refined in fire so you could carry the weight of glory. Your struggle wasn't punishment, it was preparation. And now, the reward is arriving, not just in material blessings, but in peace, favor, and purpose. You'll begin to see doors open that were previously locked. Opportunities will chase you down, connections will align divinely. This is your harvest season. You planted seeds in faith, you watered them with perseverance. Now those seeds are blooming into blessings you won't be able to contain. The same. People who saw you struggle will now witness your rise, not because you forced it, but because you were faithful. Your time has come. Your days of barely getting by are numbered. God is releasing abundance into your life. Spread. What God is building through you doesn't need validation. It needs obedience. And that's exactly what you've been walking in: obedience, in silence, in pain, in perseverance. Now the reward is here, not just financially, but physically and emotionally too. You're about to feel what it's like to be energized, inspired, and wealthy in every area of life. Yes, your bank account will grow, but so will your capacity to give, to live, and to lead. Health is wealth, and God is restoring that too. Sleepless nights, chronic fatigue, unexplained ailments, they're leaving your body. Divine healing is taking place. Your cells, your mind, your energy, it's all being renewed. You'll wake up feeling lighter, stronger, and more alive than you have in years. And wealth, it won't come through luck. It will come through God's favor. Creative ideas, unexpected opportunities, divine connections, they'll start showing up. You'll go from surviving to thriving, not just for your sake, but so you can be a blessing to others. Because when God blesses, He does it pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Have you ever seen someone go from unknown to unstoppable almost overnight? That's about to be your story. Divine shifts don't follow human timelines. What took others years, you'll achieve in months. What seemed impossible before will suddenly become your new normal. The world will call it luck, but you'll know it was the hand of God. Shifts happen suddenly, but they're never random. God has been setting this up all along, like David going from shepherd to king, or Joseph going from prison to palace. Your story is about to accelerate. Don't be surprised when doors open faster than expected, when offers flood your inbox, when people suddenly start paying attention. This shift will be undeniable. You'll rise in visibility, influence, and impact. It won't just be a personal win, it will be a public one. And the best part, you won't have to force anything. You'll simply walk into what's already yours. The shift is here, and your rise will be rapid. Your transformation will be so profound, it will confuse people. Some will question it, others will doubt it. They'll say, "There's no way this is real." But that's because they didn't see the process. They only see the product. They miss the sleepless nights, the silent prayers, the lonely valleys. Now that the fruit is showing, they question the tree. But your growth wasn't for their approval. It was for God's glory. Don't be discouraged when people get skeptical. It's natural for others to doubt what they can't explain. When Joseph rose to power in Egypt, even his own brothers couldn't recognize him. Your glow-up will be so complete, even those closest to you might not understand. But that's okay. You weren't meant to stay in the shadows forever. You were meant to rise. And some people can only understand your process when they finally see your promise. Use their skepticism as fuel, not frustration. Every question about your success is just another opportunity to point back to God. Let them wonder. Let them speculate. Your only job is to keep rising, keep shining, and keep walking in purpose, because what God is doing in you will speak louder than any rumor they spread. Something that can't be explained, only witnessed. They won't believe it until they see it, and even then, they still might not understand it. People love to credit luck when they can't explain favor. But your rise won't be lucky. It will be divine. Luck is random. This is intentional. Luck can't explain the doors that are about to open, the people who are about to call, or the resources that are about to flow into your life. This isn't coincidence. It's God's perfect timing unfolding right before your eyes. Think of Esther. She didn't just happen to be in the palace. She was there for such a time as this. Timing is everything with God. He knows when to hide you, when to prepare you, and when to launch you. You may have felt invisible for a long time, but that was protection, not punishment. Now, the covering is lifting, and your moment is here. So when the blessings start pouring in, when life begins to accelerate, don't shrink back. Embrace it boldly, knowing it was never about chance. This has been written in heaven's timeline just for you. And when people ask, how did this all happen so fast? You'll be able to smile and say, this was God's timing, not mine. You're not just going to gain followers, you're going to gain influence. Real influence. The kind that moves people, shapes culture, and changes lives. God is elevating your voice, your story, and your presence to the level of leadership, not for fame, but for impact. You're being positioned as a light in a dark world, a guide in a time of confusion. Leadership doesn't start on stages. It starts in surrender, and you've surrendered much. You've led when no one followed, spoken truth when it cost you, stood firm when it would have been easier to blend in. Now God is about to honor that. Your story will resonate. Your presence will be respected. Your words will carry weight. People will look to you for answers, and you'll be ready because God has prepared you. The shift in your social status isn't about pride, it's about purpose. You're not being raised to be worshipped. You're being raised to serve. Your elevation will be the bridge that brings others hope. Because when they see what God did in you, they'll believe He can do it in them. You're not just rising. You're being raised to lead. There are things about to happen in your life that can only be explained by one word: God. No strategy, no hustle, no networking, just divine power. He's about to perform miracles so sudden, they will make your head spin. The kind of miracles that change entire lives in a single day. That's the season you're walking into. Remember when Peter fished all night and caught nothing, then Jesus stepped in and suddenly the nets were overflowing? That's how God works. One moment, nothing is working. The next, everything is working in your favor, not because of what you did, but because of who stepped into your situation. You're about to experience overflow. Begun. That kind of overflow. Get ready for divine reversals. Where there was lack, there will be plenty. Where there was sickness, there will be health. Where there was delay, there will be speed. And when people ask how, you'll only be able to say one thing: God. Because when He moves, nothing can stay the same. Your youth is being restored, not just physically, but spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. The heaviness you've been carrying is lifting. God is breathing fresh life into your body and your soul. You'll wake up with energy again. Your face will radiate peace. Your laughter will return. You won't just survive, you'll thrive. Look around and you'll see the evidence: people in their 40s glowing like they're 25. People who've beaten the odds and conquered diseases with joy in their eyes. That's not skincare or supplements, that's divine restoration. That's what happens when God touches your life. And He's touching yours right now. You'll feel lighter, freer, and more alive than you've felt in years. You're not going back to who you were. You're stepping into the best version of who you've ever been. More alive, more grounded, more radiant. This isn't about vanity, it's about vitality. God is making you whole again. Spirit, soul, and body. You're about to walk into blessings that will leave others in awe, not because you boast, but because your life will speak. You won't need to convince people of God's goodness. They'll see it all over you. Your peace, your joy, your success. it will all point back to the source. Testimonies aren't built in comfort, they're born in battle, and you've fought. But now the victory is yours. You'll be able to say, I went through that and I made it. And not only did you survive, you came out stronger, better, and blessed. People won't just admire your story, they'll be inspired by it. Your life will preach without a microphone. You'll walk into rooms and shift atmospheres. You'll talk and people will listen not because you're loud, but because your presence carries God's evidence. You're not just a believer, you are a living, breathing testimony of transformation. You felt forgotten, but you never were. God knows your name. He knows your needs. He caught every tear. He never forgot you, not for a second. If he feeds the birds, if he clothes the flowers, how much more will he care for you? You are not a random soul. You are divinely loved, eternally. Remember, it's easy to feel invisible when you're in the wilderness. But even there, God was providing, quietly, faithfully. He protected you from things you didn't even see coming. He preserved your future even when you couldn't understand the present, and now he's bringing you out, not empty, but equipped. The God who never forgets is now remembering you in full. And when God remembers, things change fast, doors open, favor finds you, healing begins, because the Creator never forgets his creation, and your season of being remembered has arrived. Rise. You don't need their validation to walk in what God already ordained for you. Let them watch, let them wonder, because the favor on your life is not up for debate, it's divine. It's sealed, it's unshakable. People will see your change and want answers. Your glow, your success, your leadership, they'll ask, what's your secret? They'll want the formula, but there won't be one, because what's about to happen in your life can't be explained by effort alone. It can only be explained by grace. You'll have the chance to testify, not to boast, but to uplift. You'll say, it was God. I couldn't have done this on my own. And those words will plant seeds in hearts. People will begin to believe again, hope again, dream again, because your story will stir something in them. Don't be surprised when strangers start opening up to you, when they come for advice, mentorship, or encouragement. You were called not just to rise, but to lead others through their own journey. What's happening in your life will be undeniable. So when they ask, be ready to answer with humility and truth. This is what God did for me. He can do it for you too. This is not a distant dream, it's a present reality. Your time is no longer coming, it's here. You're not waiting on the rise, you're in it. Don't hesitate. Don't question if you're worthy. Don't second guess what's clearly yours. Accept it, embrace it, rise into it with everything you've got. There will be moments where the old you tries to hold back the new you, but don't. Shrink. You've earned this season through faith, through fire, through fierce perseverance. Now it's time to step into the light, to walk like you know you're favored, to move like someone who's been chosen, because you have. The future is not ahead, it's unfolding now, one step at a time. And as you walk into it, may you remember, you were built for this, anointed for this, called for this. This is your rise, and it's unstoppable. There are people who saw your struggle and secretly celebrated it. People who doubted your calling, who whispered behind your back, who hoped you'd stay down forever. But now they'll watch as God lifts you in front of them, not for revenge, but as a testimony. God prepares a table in the presence of your enemies for a reason. Not behind their backs, not in secret, but in plain view. They will see, and they will not be able to stop it. This next move of God in your life will be so obvious, so undeniable, that even your enemies will have to admit it. They may not clap for you, but they'll be forced to respect the hand of God on your life. Every word they spoke against you will crumble under the weight of God's favor. They'll watch the same person they dismissed walk into rooms they were denied. Remember, Jesus performed miracles in the face of opposition. The Pharisees watched him heal, deliver, and raise the dead. They plotted, but they could not prevent. That same divine force surrounds you. God is showing the world and your enemies that no one can curse what he has already blessed. So let them watch. Let them whisper. Let them wonder. Because you don't need their approval to rise. Taken years, What others built through strategy and struggle, you will receive through supernatural speed. You weren't behind, you were being aligned. Every moment of waiting was God orchestrating something greater than you could ask or imagine. And now, the release is here. Rise. You are never running on their support, you are running on divine assignment. The same ones who spoke against you will be silenced by the success God is about to unleash in your life. There's a reason your name wasn't known, why the spotlight avoided you, why doors seemed delayed. It wasn't punishment, it was protection. God was hiding you, shielding your potential from premature exposure. He was preparing you in secret for a public release that will be undeniably glorious. When a seed is planted, it's hidden underground. But that's when the real growth happens. And now the season of hiding is over. God is about to reveal you, not in weakness, but in strength, not in fragments, but in fullness. Your gifts, your purpose, your voice, they're about to emerge in ways you never imagined. You'll step out not just visible, but victorious. Not just noticed, but anointed. Think of Moses, hidden in the palace before becoming a deliverer. Think of David, hidden in the fields before being crowned king. Their hiding seasons were divine preparation for historic revelation. Your story is following the same sacred pattern. The world is about to see what heaven has been cultivating. And when you're revealed, it won't be to impress, it will be to impact. You're not stepping out to shine for self. You're stepping into destiny. You were hidden because your value is rare, and now you're being revealed because your timing is right. Glory is your portion. The pain didn't come to destroy you, it came to develop you. It was never meant to break you, but to build the version of you that could handle the blessing. You cried, you wrestled, you questioned God, but now you're about to understand why the crushing had to come before the calling. Diamonds are formed under pressure. So were you. You weren't being punished, you were being purified. God was stripping away what couldn't go with you. The betrayal, the heartbreak, the loneliness, they were all tools in the potter's hands. Tools that shaped your endurance, deepened your faith, and expanded your capacity to lead. What you thought was breaking you was actually equipping. In hindsight, you'll realize the pain birthed purpose. The same things that brought tears are now producing wisdom, discernment, and divine authority. You'll speak with weight because you've lived what you preach. You'll walk in humility because you know what it means to fall and rise again with grace. So don't curse the pain. Thank God for the preparation. Every scar has made you stronger. Every test has built your testimony. What others called loss, God calls launching. And now you're stepping into the season where the pain makes sense. And the reward was worth the wait. You've waited and waited and waited. You watched others run ahead while you stayed still, but that was only because your blessing required divine acceleration, not man-made timing. God is about to do in months what should have taken years, and when it happens, no one will be able to deny it. This was God. This is your time. This is your rise. And it's unstoppable. Your success will speak for itself. Your life will be the proof. You won't need to say, "I told you so," because God will show them for you. Taken years, and when He accelerates you, it won't make logical sense. It'll be supernatural. This is the season of catching up. All the lost time, all the missed chances, all the delays that felt like punishment, God is collapsing time on your behalf. Like Joseph, who spent years in prison and was promoted to second in command overnight, you're about to move from stuck to soaring in a single divine moment. Acceleration doesn't need permission, it only needs God's command. And when He says move, everything begins to align. Resources, connections, favor, clarity, they'll meet you at the speed of obedience. You won't need to hustle or chase. It'll feel like heaven itself is pushing you forward. This isn't just a breakthrough, it's a time-redeeming miracle. You'll look back a year from now and barely recognize the life you once lived. The years the enemy stole are being restored, and what's coming will be so overwhelming in beauty and abundance, it'll make you forget you ever waited. Your influence is about to multiply, but not for vanity. This is not about building a fan base. It's about building the kingdom. Crowds will gather not because of who you are, but because of who you carry. People are hungry for truth, desperate for hope, and your life will be the beacon they're drawn to. Don't be surprised when attention starts following you. Your words will carry power, your story will inspire, and your presence will feel like a peace. It won't be about popularity. It'll be about positioning by God to reach hearts and transform lives. Fame fades, but favor fulfills. Jesus didn't draw crowds because he was trendy. He drew them because he carried healing, wisdom, and hope. That same anointing is being stirred up in you. Your platform, whether online or in person, will become an altar. People won't come for entertainment. They'll come for encounters, and with that influence comes responsibility. Stay grounded, stay humble. Remember, it's not about you. It's about what God is doing through you. The crowd is not your crown. It's your calling, and you're being elevated for a purpose far greater than popularity. The people who overlooked you, dismissed you, laughed at your dreams, they're about to witness your elevation. And when they see what God does in your life, they won't be able to deny that they were wrong. Their rejection was protection. But now it will become testimony, a public display of what happens when God vindicates his chosen. Don't carry bitterness. Carry boldness. You don't need revenge. You need revelation. The very platforms they denied you access to, God will invite you to lead on them. The very people who said you wouldn't make it, they'll watch you walk into rooms they're still praying for. Think of David again, rejected by his brothers, forgotten by his father, but chosen by God. And when he defeated Goliath, the very ones who questioned him had no choice but to honor him. The same shift is coming to your story. Those who said you were too much, too broken, or not enough, they'll soon be watching you. Become more than they imagined, and you won't even need to say, "I told you so." Your favor will say it for you. Your breakthrough will say it for you. Your rise will say it for you. Because what God is about to do will say everything. Your own strength, you're depending on his supply. And when God supplies, there's no shortage, no delay, no denial. Your life will say it for you. Your success will silence every doubt. And in the most unexpected way, their rejection will turn into respect. You don't have to shout to shake atmospheres. Your voice, whether loud or whispered, will begin to carry weight. Power is not in volume, it's in authority. And because you've been through the fire, your words will no longer be empty. They will be drenched in divine presence. There will be moments where you won't even need to speak. Your silence will speak louder than noise. Your presence alone will shift rooms, disarm tension, and stir hearts. That's not charisma, that's anointing, and it's about to increase over your life. When you do speak, your voice will be like a trumpet to some and a balm to others. Correction and comfort will flow from the same lips because your words will be led by wisdom. What once felt like small talk will now become prophetic utterance. Even casual conversations will carry impact. You're not just speaking to people's ears, you're speaking to their souls. And they'll feel it because your voice is no longer just yours, it's God's instrument of transformation. Use it boldly, use it carefully, and use it for his glory. You are about to be living, walking evidence of God's favor. Your life will be the case study of how obedience meets overflow. The kind of person people point to and say, "If God did it for them, he can do it for me." Your success won't be a mystery, it'll be a message. Favor isn't earned, it's released, and God is releasing it over you in waves. Doors you didn't knock on are opening. Blessings you didn't apply for are finding you. Not because you're perfect, but because you're positioned. God wants to make you an example of what happens when someone stays faithful. This isn't about bragging rights, it's about becoming a blueprint. Others will study your story. They'll read your books, listen to your words, follow your path. Not to worship you, but to discover what's possible through faith. Be ready, be responsible. Favor isn't a trophy, it's a tool, and God is using your life to remind the world that he's still in the business of making miracles out of misfits. You've lived in just enough for too long. God is canceling lack and releasing provision. Heaven's economy is about to override Earth's limitations. unexpected income, divine partnerships, open doors. These are not fantasies, they're faith realities about to unfold in your life. Where you once lacked, you'll now lead. Where you once begged, you'll now bless. God is supplying not just your needs, but your dream. Projects that once felt impossible will now be financed. Visions that were shelved due to cost will now be funded from supernatural sources. Your future will no longer be limited by your past. You are no longer depending on man. You are now depending on the Master. And He never fails. Crying yourself to sleep, clinging to a promise when nothing around you looked like it was coming to pass. But heaven was watching. God never forgets. He keeps perfect records. Every silent prayer, every night you didn't give up, every time. You chose faith over fear. It's all about to pay off. Man, you're not depending on the world anymore. You're depending on heaven's treasury, and God never runs out. Every idea you had, every blueprint you held back because of finances, get ready to resurrect them. The provision is coming, not for luxury, but for legacy. You'll build businesses, fund ministries, support families, and you'll do it with joy. Because lack was never your portion, abundance is. You thought you were dreaming too big. You thought maybe you were being unrealistic, but now God is showing you those weren't random thoughts. They were divine blueprints planted in your heart by the Creator Himself. And now you're about to see them come to life. Every idea, every vision, every moment of inspiration, it all had a purpose. It wasn't fantasy, it was foresight. God was revealing your future in pieces. Now He's putting the pieces together. What once seemed too big to achieve is now the next step in your journey. Think of Noah building an ark when there was no rain. That dream looked like madness to everyone else, but it was preparation. You've been mocked, misunderstood, maybe even ridiculed, but now your dreams are aligning with divine timing. Reality is about to catch up with vision, so pull those notebooks back out. Dust off those plans. The dreams weren't crazy, they were confirmation. And now it's time to build what heaven downloaded into your soul. You've carried promises for years, prophetic words spoken over your life that seemed delayed, forgotten, or even impossible. But now they're coming alive, not just in theory, but in real time. What was once a distant word is becoming a tangible reality. The things you once only imagined are starting to unfold before your eyes. God never speaks without intent. When He promised restoration, abundance, healing, and elevation, He meant it. The waiting season wasn't a no, it was a not yet. But now the clock of heaven is striking now. Things are beginning to shift in alignment with what God told you long ago, and you're about to see His word perform itself. It's like watching a seed break through the soil. It seemed like nothing was happening, but beneath the surface, roots were growing, structure was forming. And now comes the sprouting, the blooming, the manifestation. Every promise you clung to in tears is about to show up in joy. God keeps receipts on every word He speaks. People will wonder how you suddenly got blessed, but they weren't there. When you were holding on to a whisper from God, they didn't see you believe without evidence, but heaven did. And now He's honoring your faith with fulfillment.